Thank you for joining us for this overview of EBSCO's Small Business Source for Idaho Commission for Libraries. My name is Shayna, and I'll be walking you through today's session. We do have a quick overview, a few slides, and then we'll demonstrate the new Small Business Source, which used to be called Small Business Reference Center, in its new home, which is the Explorer interface. We are recording today's session, so if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask live, since we've got a small group, or you can enter your questions in the chat and I'll be monitoring the chat as well. So before we get started with a demonstration of this great resource, I like to provide a few screens to get you acclimated to what it is you subscribe to. So Small Business Source provides exclusive full-text access to many top consumer small business reference books, as well as tools to help understand and address a wide variety of small business topics. You'll find business videos, case studies, help and advice, and startup kits, and tips for writing small business plans. Subjects covered include starting and growing a business, writing business plans, marketing your business, managing employees, going green, conducting business on the internet, understanding legal information, and selling your business. Within this database, you'll find almost 400 full-text periodicals or access to them, almost 400 full-text ebooks, over 470 full-text industry and market research reports. You'll get up-to-date reference information and nonfiction ebooks provided by NOLO, which is the nation's oldest and most respected provider of legal information for consumers and small businesses. And you'll also get how-to information for a ton of small business topics, business plans, and the ability to browse startup information by state. And we'll demonstrate that in a little bit. In terms of some of the periodicals or resources you'll have access to within Small Business Source, you'll see some of the cover art here for popular titles like Ad Age, Automotive News, Cranes, and these are provided with no embargo, which means the publishers are not holding back on the new issues within the interface, so you'll have access to the latest and greatest. You'll also see access to other popular topics or titles like entrepreneur, family business, horticulture, and ink, plate, souvenirs and gifts, pensions and investments, in the San Diego Business Journal. And in terms of those NOLO books, you'll find access to a lot of topics, including consultant and independent contractor agreements, writing business plans, legal forms for starting and running small businesses, a small business startup kit, and the women's business startup kit. So if you have not visited Small Business Reference Center, it's got a new home on Explorer and a new name. So we're calling it now Small Business Source. It is on a new user interface that is more modern, more accessible, and mobile friendly. So we'll be demonstrating accessing these resources, but this is just a screenshot of the landing page for Small Business Source on the Explorer interface. Of course, you'll have access to a simple search box for keyword searching at the top of your screen. We also allow for advanced search as well. And in terms of content, you'll see at the top of the page, we will often feature a hot topic or a key topic. This one, we see a screenshot for startup information by state. And below that, you'll see the ability to browse topics by popular topics concerning small businesses. You can explore topics like business basics and startup kits and industry information. And there's even a link there in the lower left corner of our, right corner of our screenshot to the NOLO business guides. In terms of that startup guide by state, this is just an example. Since I'm from New York, my example is the Startup Business Guide for New York, but you'll see similar for Idaho, and we'll go ahead and sample accessing that for your state, your lovely state of Idaho. And with that, we are ready to explore. I see that we have a few more people joining us. Thanks for joining this overview of Small Business Source. We are recording today's session, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure I mute all incoming attendees. If you do have a question, please feel free to unmute yourselves. You can find the options to unmute in the Zoom toolbar. You can also enter your questions in the chat, and I'll be monitoring the chat as well. So with that, I'm going to exit out of this presentation. And I'm going to start at Libraries Linking Idaho, LILI.org, just to show you where you can access Small Business Source on this landing page. You may have a direct link to it on your individual library's website, but this is where you can access it at lily.org. I'm going to access it through the A to Z listing, but you can find database by entering a keyword in the search box here by topic or by user group. But since we know that Small Business Source, I'm just going to check the S's here. It's going to bring me to the listing where I'll scroll down and you'll see access to Small Business Source. You can learn more about it, or you can access the resource from here. If you are IP authenticated in your library, you'll get instant access. Otherwise, I believe you need to enter your Idaho zip code and city to gain access this way. I've already accessed it, so I'm actually going to bring you to the landing page of Small Business Source, which used to be called Small Business Reference Center. It is now on the Explorer interface. And so if you are accustomed to using Explorer, this will be very new, or not very new to you, very familiar to you in terms of navigating. We have created this database, or moved this database into the Explorer interface for that modern, searchable, mobile-friendly, and accessible experience. So you'll find some key things at the top, as I mentioned, your basic search. In the lower corner of that search box, you have your access to advanced search on the right side. Before you enter a search term, a keyword search, you can limit your search with a quick filter here by online full text. By clicking that, it will highlight it in blue, letting you know that any keyword you enter here and execute the search, it will only provide online full text resources. You can also use a quick filter for time if you are only interested in articles published within the past 12 months. 5 years or 10 years, you can limit that as well prior to executing your search. We're not going to conduct a search yet because I still want to get you familiar with all of the features of this landing page. So as we scroll down, we see this featured topic here, startup information. You can click into it to get state-specific resources, including demographics, licenses, permits, and all other information for starting up a business in your state. This will rotate, so upon page refresh, there'll be another featured topic. You can see the green pill here under Discover Popular Topics. That's what's feeding this featured image here. So we will be updating this regularly with additional topics. So right now we just have the 2, but as we grow content here, you may see additional popular topics. So right now you can toggle between green business and startup information. If you were to refresh your page, then it would automatically toggle between the 2. As we scroll down, you'll see all of those Explore Topics sections here with these tiles of content areas for accessibility. The images behind each topic highlight as you place your cursor over it, just to make sure that the reader can view the text prominently instead of being competing with the actual image. So you can explore business and the internet, business basics, business plans, core business functions, starting, selling, and growing your business. There goes those NOLO business guides, your startup kit, management and leadership topics, industry information, and going green. Okay, so that is the main section of the screen. Over to the left, you'll see My Dashboard, and this will keep track of your activity for your session. So as long as you don't shut down, log out, close your computer, click out of this this tab in your browser, you'll be able to see any resources you've saved, any searches you've conducted, any articles you've viewed. This is your EBSCO My Dashboard for your session, which is temporary. So if you were to close out, then all of those resources would go away. If you wanted to save your searches and the articles you've viewed and the searches you've conducted, whether that be basic or advanced searches, long-term, i.e. after this session, i.e., as long as Idaho Commission for Libraries has a subscription, then you could click the MyEBSCO link in the upper right corner where my cursor is placed here and create a personal MyEBSCO account, which gives you the ability to save all of your research and create project folders to organize your research. So that is the link to create an account or to sign in if you already have one. This is, of course, all optional. Otherwise, for the session that you're in, you will have access to those resources. And as we conduct searches within this interface, we will go back to see our activity, and I can demonstrate that. But let's start with the featured image here, the startup information of state-specific resources. I can click that link, which will take me to a page. And this is our access to startup guides by state. We can click the PDF to access the startup guides. And on this page, we can select our state. And we'll go ahead and click Idaho here. All right, and this is the detailed record or the detailed page providing information about this resource. So you can see the subject terms or subject headings, geographic terms, Idaho, so it's limiting to that. And then the abstract, which is a summary. To access the actual document, you can either download it for offline access or access now via PDF. And so we'll go ahead and access now via PDF. And here we're taking a look at that small business startup guide for Idaho. We can click into any of these chapters. If we're interested in licenses and permits on page 4, we can scroll to that. In the lower portion of our screen in the center, I could there enter page 4 to advance or use the arrows to advance. And now we're taking a look at information for licenses and permits in the state of Idaho, in addition to financing, tax and tax information and incentives. So this is a downloadable document. So if we scroll or place our eyes in the upper right corner, you'll see the ability to download this PDF file for offline use with the download link. And then to the right of that, you see some additional tools. You have the ability or will have the ability soon to conduct a search within this PDF. That is a feature that's coming with the new Explorer, as well as the new EBSCO host resource as well. So you'll see that magnifying glass that allows you to conduct a keyword search within the PDF you're viewing. To the right of that, you'll see this headphone icon. This is our read speaker technology for text to speech to have the article, or in this case, the startup guide for Idaho read aloud. With the play feature, you can advance with the scroll bar over right below that play button. Play a pause. You can control the volume, the playback speed, and then you can also download an MP3 of the article for accessibility purposes. So let's go ahead and click play so I can demonstrate how this reads the article or the, seems like it's not working for us today. Let me close that and try it again. Should play aloud. Looks like I'm having problems with my text to speech today. We'll try another feature. Maybe it's just this particular guide that's giving me trouble. All right. So let me move on to the other tools, and I'll try sampling listen or text to speech with another demonstration search when we do advanced search. But we do have this item, the flag icon, which allows you to save a resource. This will provide a little pop-up just as I'll just click it again, and you'll say, it'll let you know that this is a temporary session file. If you want to save it forever, you would need to be signed into your MyEBSCO account. But I have saved it. You see the flag has now been highlighted. Moving over, you have your cite option, access to 9 different citation formats. If you need to cite this article, you can choose your citation format. I've just chosen MLA 9th edition, and the citation is available for me to copy to my clipboard right within this modal. You also have the ability to export the citation with your your citation tool of choice, including RIS format, EasyBib, RefWorks, EndNote, and Noodle tools. I'll go ahead and click close. Moving right along, the option to the right of the cite feature is the project folder. This is required to, you are required to have a MyEBSCO account to create a project folder. So it does prompt you to sign in. But project folders basically are subfolders to organize your research. So let's say you're conducting a startup information for your small business in Idaho. You can create a subfolder for that to house this small business guide, for instance. The next tool to the right is your share tool with the little swishy arrow. If I click that, that gives us the ability to send this article via email as a PDF. Since we're viewing the PDF version, you just enter the email address to which you wish to send this to and click send. Now, of course, whomever receives your email would need to be or authenticate in the same way you did in order to access the resource through your library's authentication methods. And then last but not least is the print option in the far right corner. Let me pause here and see if we have any questions regarding the tools available in the PDF of this resource. Okay, I don't see any, so we'll go ahead and move on. Let me go ahead and click back. Click new search. So right below the dashboard, you have the ability to clear your search to bring you back to the landing page. Let's see. There we go. And as you can see, since we've refreshed and came back to the landing page, it's now rotated to the other popular topic, which is green businesses in this case. But now what I'd like to do, instead of focusing on the featured business here, featured green businesses topic here, maybe we can access a resource by topic. If anyone is interested in me accessing any of the explore topics section here, any of these subtopics, please let me know and I can go ahead and click in if anyone has something they'd like to take a look at while we're demoing today. Just let me know by unmuting or entering something in the chat. I'll give you guys a moment. Okay. I don't see anyone with a request, anything burning, so we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the topics here. I'll go right into business plans since that's right in the center there, and I'll go ahead and click into the subsection for business plans. Notice we're on the business plans category here. We've got an A to Z listing for topics related to business plans. So there are some subtopics, including cash flow forecasts, personal financial statements, profit and loss forecast, sales revenue forecast, sample business plans, startup forms, and writing a business plan. So I'm going to go ahead and choose writing a business plan. And we have another subcategory of topics. Within writing a business plan, there are 13 additional topics, I believe. We see writing a business plan, selling your business after you open, keeping on the path to success, and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and just click writing a business plan, and then it's going to execute my search. It will provide the first 3 relevant articles, but if I want to view all results, I can click the view all results link in the upper right corner of my search results or my sample of search results. So we'll click view all results. which will bring us to our search results page on writing a business plan. And we have 36 resources available. So let's take a look at this first one. We've got a chapter 1 on how to write a business plan, 5th edition. This was published in 2008. We've got some that are later, maybe instead of relevance. As we can see, my search results are sorted by. Maybe I'm interested in the most recently published resources. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my sort to date newest. And we see that we have 10 crucial reminders about your records policy, dated August 2023, published in Administrative Professional today. Maybe I'll take a look. Actually, we can see that we have a number of different access options here. This is a PDF. There we go. This next resource, an underused prescription for employees, has more than one access option. We have got access to online full text and Flipster in this case. Let's take a look at health and wellness tips for home-based workers. So whenever there is more than one access option, it will say so in the drop-down. Otherwise, it will just let you know. In this case, this is a PDF. All right, so and as you get to the bottom of the page, you can click Show More Results to load more results. Okay. Let's take a look at reducing risks of benefits plan contracting. We have 2 different access options, online full text and PDF. There are benefits to both. I did show you a PDF sample earlier on. So this time I'm going to access the online full text version. If you notice, the PDF is just a screenshot of the way in which the article was published, complete with formatting and imagery. The online full text version will strip that article of all formatting and imagery and just deliver the text, which is an accessibility feature. So we'll go ahead and access that online full text, also known as HTML. So now we're taking a look at the article stripped of any formatting and imagery. We can review the article by scrolling. In the upper right corner, you'll see some of the same tools available with a few changes. You do have the option to download this article for offline use. This table of contents allows you to jump into the different paragraphs, in this case, or chapters, if there are, within the article. So that's your table of contents. We'll click out of that. Here goes text to speech, and let's see if this is going to work now. Read speaker technology for the HTML or online full text version is slightly more robust. You still have the play option. You'll see the options to fast forward and rewind, control the volume, the playback speed. Additional options for the online full text include the ability to disable or enable automatic scrolling. The download MP3 is also featured here on the HTML or online full text. And then you can control the text highlighting and the word color and sentence color as the article is read aloud. So let me go ahead and see if that's going to work with this version. We'll just click play.
Reduce risks of benefits plan contracting legal trends to limit liability in vendor agreements. Get everything in writing. Employers take risks every time they sign a vendor's contract without negotiating the terms. It's easy.
Let me pause here. For some reason, my demo account today is just not cooperating. Let me refresh this page. Wanted to get back at the top of the page. For some reason, it wasn't allowing me to. So I'll go ahead and go back to that text to speech so you can see the text, word color and sentence color highlighting.
Reduce risks of benefits plan contracting legal trends to limit liability in vendor agreements. Get everything in writing. Employers take risks every time they...
All right, so I just wanted to demonstrate how you can change the word color or the sentence color with the online full text version. So that's your text to speech. So we'll go ahead and close that read speaker tool on the headphone icon. Next, you do have the ability to save the article. Same thing with PDF. Citation is the same as well. Your 9 different citation formats are presented, and exporting your citation as well. There goes that add to project. You would once again need to be signed into your personal MyEBSCO account in order to create a subfolder to organize your research. The share feature, this It lets you know that PDF and online full text will be included as an attachment since this particular article provides both. Once again, just entering your email address and clicking send will send it to whoever you choose. And then last but not least is your print option. So that is the difference between the PDF and the online full text. And to get back to the landing page, I'm going to click new search, or I can click, and for some reason the EBSCO logo today is just not working for me. There we go. And we're back on the landing page. Let me pause here and see if we have any questions with regard to exploring those popular topics here at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to move on to advanced search next. And I'll give you a moment. If there is something else you'd like me to demonstrate, please let me know. Okay, so we're going to move on to advanced search. Oh, you know what? Let me start with a basic search because we have just been clicking around on the featured image and the explore topics. So let's start with basic search. Maybe I'll conduct basic search on social media. Notice as I start typing suggestions, popular search suggestions will be presented, and any publication links will be presented as well. But I'm going to go ahead and enter social media. I did not select any of those quick filters. So my social media keyword search produced over 12,000 results. And at the top will be topic overview, which will summarize this topic. This usually is a summary article provided often an encyclopedia entry. This one is from Salem Press Encyclopedia from 2023, which provides grounding or foundation for the topic we're researching. It's usually presented or always presented at the top of your search results list when it is available. So I did conduct a search on social media. This topic overview, it'll tell you that it's a topic overview. It'll be flagged with this little light bulb icon. We've got a quick summary and additional or related topics we can click into. And if I want to read more about this topic overview, I can click the read more link to go to that Salem Press Encyclopedia article for a summary of social media. Okay. Our tools are available here. These are always citable references when presented as topic overviews. But below that, we can see our 12,353 search results. Okay, so of course we don't want to scroll through 12,000 of anything. Remember, we can change our sort from relevance, which is the default, to date newest or date oldest. But what I'm going to do is employ some of those filters. So once I conduct a search, more quick filters are presented. This is also a function of the size of my screen. So I have the ability, once again, to limit to full text, limit by quick filters for time, 12 months, 5 years, or 10 years. I can also limit by source type. Maybe I'm only interested in magazine articles or case studies, for instance, on social media. I can go ahead and click there and apply. These are my quick filters, 1, 2, 3. If I wanted to access my full complement of filter options, I can click the All Filters link right below that search box, and that's going to open a panel on the right to expose all of my options. So here I can filter by date range, not just those quick filters of 12 months, 5 years, or 10 years, but I can also enter a custom range here. I can filter by databases, by source types. Maybe I am interested only in, let's see, maybe I'm interested in case studies. And I can also continue filtering by subject thesaurus terms. So within social media, maybe I'm interested in online social networks or particularly on internet marketing. Okay, let's see if we can select that. We also have our author supplied keywords, subject terms. If I'm interested specifically in Instagram or LinkedIn, since we're talking about online internet marketing, I can further limit. Additional facets here include publication. Maybe I'm only interested in articles published in Advertising Age, for instance, or Marketing Magazine. I can filter by company, by geography, as well as by industry code. Okay. As I select all of my filters, and you can see the apply button here in the lower portion of this panel, but I do have the two active filters, case studies and internet marketing. Notice how the little lock icon is displayed. That means that all of my filters are sticky. So if I were to apply these filters and then come back to make some changes, my two active filters would remain across my searches or my queries. I'm going to go ahead and apply, see if we have any case studies on internet marketing, and we'll go ahead and limit our search results from that 12,353 down to 2 search results. All right, so great way to narrow your research. Okay, so I can take a look at these 2 case studies. Reebok edits and refines its social media footprint, for instance, and then marketing case studies. So those are some options. Now, let me go back to my filters, and if I wanted to revert to the original search results set, I can then go ahead and exit out of those filters and update my search results once again. Okay, so we're back to 12,353. So I am going to actually limit to online full text. I'll use one of those quick filters now. So just limiting to online full text brings me down by about 1,000. We're down to 11,458. And now what I'll do is I'm going to click into advanced search. Okay. And we'll see how my filter should carry over, as well as my search term. All right, so my search term is carried over and that online full text is selected. So my filters are sticky. So let's take a look. Maybe I'm interested in social media. Well, let me actually explain a little bit of the advanced search features here. So we do have guided style or multiple search boxes to enter multiple terms and combine those terms with our Boolean operators to combine and or not, to exclude or to expand, and to combine. We can also qualify our keywords with our citation field codes here. So maybe I'm interested in social media. I'm looking for it within the abstract of an article. I can add additional terms here. So maybe I'm looking for social media and marketing strategy. Okay. And we have some additional filters here. So maybe I'm interested in articles published within the past 5 years. So let's go ahead and execute our search and see what comes up. And here we have 58 search results. And we have the ability to access the full text to these articles. If I want to review the details, we can click view details, which will take us to the detailed record of the article, which provides not just the title and the author information, but the subject terms. If I wanted to conduct a subsequent search, maybe on integrated marketing, I can go ahead and select that, and that'll execute a search on that subject term. If I wanted to get a brief summary of the article, I can review the abstract here on the detailed record. Okay, so I'm going to clear my search out. Let me click the EBSCO logo. I'm not sure why that's not rendering properly. There we go. And with the last few minutes of our time today, unless we have some questions or requests for demo, I do want to review the information now available on my dashboard, because we did conduct a few searches, we did view a few articles, and let's take a look at what we've got. We can go into the overview for a quick snapshot of our dashboard, or if we wanted to go specifically into the articles we've saved, searches we've conducted, or articles we viewed, we could click into those subsections. But I'll just go over to the overview, which will give me a summary of everything. So at the top of my dashboard here, it does let you know if you want to save this long-term, you can sign in or create an account. I did not create any project folders. Those are subfolders to organize my research. Of course, I would have to be signed in order to do so. But for my session, I can see that I've saved 2 articles, or 2 articles are listed here. If I had more, I'm not sure if I saved any more, I would click see all. Okay, yeah, so we only saved 2. So let me go back to that. So we have those 2 articles that we saved: reduced risks of benefits plan contracting, and the Idaho Startup Guide is available as well. We did conduct a number of searches, so we have 12 searches depicted here in the brackets, and it's going to just give you the first two. If we wanted to access all 12, we would click See All to view our searches. We can save any searches we conduct long-term if we are signed into our MyEBSCO account by clicking that flag icon. We could also add to project or delete our search here. So we have a number of searches, okay? And more are visible by clicking the bar at the bottom of the page. And then to take a look at those articles that we viewed, we did view a number of articles that are presented here, including building your social media brand, reducing risks of benefits plan contracting, and that article, the Startup Guide for Idaho as well again. Okay, so that's your dashboard. Let me go back to the landing page. And with that, that pretty much is it. Small Business Source is a small but mighty resource for all of your small business needs. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to demonstrate while we're here, or if there are any questions, requests, concerns. I'm here and I'm able to help, listen, provide any information. Now's your time. And I'll go ahead and give you guys a moment in the chat, or if you would like to unmute yourselves to ask a question.
I'm appreciating this.
Oh,
I didn't realize there were so many options in here.
Oh, yes, there are.
business.
There are. It's all small business related. The NOLO guides tend to be very popular reference guides for librarians. So
I can see that.
yes, and we do order them by, or organize them by year. So if you want to see the most recent NOLO guides for 2024, we've got Startup Kit for California, Small Business Startup Kit, Starting and Building a Nonprofit. That's for 2024. So I guess it depends on publish date to see what is available. Let's see if we can go back to maybe 2023. Maybe there are more. Yes, 2023 has 11 titles, including 401ks and retirement plans, tax savvy for small businesses. So some great articles. So these are organized by chapter. We can click view all results to get all results for this particular NOLO book. And you've got the access for PDF. So this is by chapter within this NOLO book for the 2023 issue for tax savvy small businesses. Now this is still a work in progress. We're still moving or improving the search features within Small Business Source, which is the Explorer interface. So I'm not sure if you are accustomed to utilizing Small Business Reference Center, but it's a different look and feel. We are continuing to update our interfaces, including this one, which is Explorer. So what I do want to show you is that on our support site, which is EBSCO Connect, and that's a very easy URL to remember. It's connect.ebsco.com. You can access our platform roadmap under the news section to see the new features to come in the Explorer interface in this case, or our EBSCO host interface. I'll go ahead and click the platform roadmap. It's now an interactive roadmap. Prior to this, maybe the last month or so, we just moved into an interactive roadmap. So if you'd visited our roadmap prior, it was not interactive. And so I'll tell you that the best way to view the features to come on our timeline would be to utilize the filters here on the left. You can filter by product. So if you're only interested in what's coming on the Explorer interface, which Small Business Source is housed on, you can filter by Explorer. You can also filter by what's coming or what has already been released. We'll click Coming Soon. And you can even see by release date what's coming. We update this roadmap every 3 months. So although we passed March, I believe March was the latest update. So you'll see a new update next month. We also have the opportunity to filter by category. So there are additional Explore enhancements and filter enhancements to come, in addition to alerts. But we can now take a look at what I filtered on, and we'll see that in July, the option to show the full abstract from the results list is coming. Improvements to the filter panel user experience. Search alerts are coming, or actually that should have released. Maybe we just haven't made the update yet. Search alerts did release. Custom limiters are coming. I'm not sure how that pertains to small business source, but we can see this is a platform dependent. But this is a great way for you to stay abreast of additional enhancements to come to this interface. All right. Any questions? Any requests before I stop the recording and give you guys 15 minutes back of your lives? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. If you do have a question that you wanted to ask after the recording, just stick around and I'll stick around as well. If not, thank you for your time and attention. And we will be making this recording available through the lilly.org site. I will share the recording out with my main point of contact. And thanks for your time and attention. Bye-bye now.